Thank you. Okay, today is the last lecture of the semester, and thank you for coming and insisting to come at the end of the semester. I know it's not that easy to be here for the whole semester, but in any case, I thank you for coming today, and let us I will finish the last lecture on textual analysis and have a small conclusion today. So let's see. Okay, so let me recap what we have discussed on last two lectures. Okay, we are talking about how we do textual analysis, and we after the analysis we can see there is a lot of implicit suggestions of different sort of stereotypes or different problems or different uh, 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 implicit bias in our system that can be manifested by our analysis of different texts. Okay, because text is a product of our culture, and so by analyzing the text, we can review the power structure behind the or the power structure that creates the text. Okay, so we have discussed the problem about gender, on for example on body, on ethnicity or colonialism, and also on the image of intellectuals or perhaps philosophers. Okay, and one more here. One the homosexuality. Okay, or LGBT plus. Okay, okay. The, another thing I wanted to mention is about it's not homosexuality, sexual sexual orientation, something like that. Okay, it's another very popular this point of discussion on popular culture. Okay, uh, originally it's about sexual orientation, but later on it is expanded to be called LGBT plus. Okay, it means LGBT means lesbian, okay, gay, bisexual. The first three is are about sexual orientation. The last one is transgender. Okay, transgender. So it means if you are biologically, for example, a male, but then you regard yourself as a female, then it is called the transgender people. Okay, and so it's strictly speaking, it's not about sexual orientation, but it is not something totally isolated from sexual orientation because uh, they are, so to speak, the sexual minorities. Okay, and for example, a transgender person is often regarded as, for example, uh, not not enough women or not enough men. Okay, so it is in a sense the same. It is in a sense the same charge towards lesbian and gay people. Okay, you're not enough, you're not woman enough, or you're not man enough. Okay, and a transgender person is often received the same kind of attack and comments. Okay, by the wider society, and that's why they face a very similar experience. Okay, that is at roots identical in a sense from the systematic point of view. That's why they are grouped together because they face the same kind of social attack, and this kind of attack is rooted in the same social stereotypes towards man, woman, gender, different gender of people. Okay, and uh, uh, heterosexual normality. Okay. In cultural industry. So a problem of that uh, sorry, a problem arise here. It is shown as with the heterosexual hegemony, okay, in our cultural and creative industry. Hegemony means 霸权, okay, 霸权, okay, 霸权, okay, it's like the dominance of heterosexual orientation. What do we mean? In the past, basically you, for example, let's say films, okay, films. In the past, basically you won't suddenly find 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 a gay people or find a lesbian couples in your films, okay. Normally they won't exist in the film. Okay, it's just everywhere is heterosexual hegemony. Okay? Everywhere is in the movies, in different TV series, different TV programs. The default setting is that uh, the actor and actress in the movie or in the TV program are heterosexual. Okay? 異性戀啊 okay? If you are a man, then you are in love with a woman instead of another man or some other people of different gender. Okay, so that is this hegemony because um it is not expected to see any other couples other than heterosexual couples. Okay? And so it is sometimes called a heterosexual hegemony. Okay, and okay, and in Hong Kong, there is some particular debate concerning RTHK programs. RTHK is the government run television, and in the past they don't have their own TV channel, but they make uh, TV programs for other commercial channels like TVB and ATV at the time. Okay, so there is a very famous issue and debate concerning RTHK programs because there is one documentary movie, okay, made by RTHK, discussing and revealing the story and telling the story and revealing the lives of homosexual people. Okay, so but that kind of programs got campaign from the conservative camp. Okay, okay, especially some and some religious camp. Okay, religious group, religious like 明光社 in Hong Kong. Okay, they got lots of campaigns, and the debate is like so, it's not about whether we should fame someone who is homosexual in their sexual orientation. Okay, but whether we should have balance. Okay, between different sexual orientation. Okay, that's the main arguments used offered by those religious groups. They think that we shouldn't have one episode of program from RTHK that focus entirely on the lives of homosexual people. They think we have to balance between different sexual orientations. Okay, so if you use one episode to talk about, if in this episode you talk about homosexual people, you have to spend the same amount of time in this episode to talk about heterosexual people as well. Okay, so you got balance, and they are afraid of the fact that they are afraid that this kind of program, which only focuses on, for example, homosexual people, will will will, will lead many children in our society who have watched their program to become homosexual as well. They have that they have that kind of like frightening pictures. Okay, quote unquote. Okay. Um. They think we have to balance between different sexual orientation in the episode. Okay. And the campaign made by them, and also the conservative game came in general, uh, as far as I can recall, become successful, uh, from the government side, and that's what that program has to be stopped. Also, I can't remember, but the campaign is really vivid. Okay, and but the problem is like the reply. The reply to them is what I want to talk about. The reply is like, but if you want a balanced report or balanced cover, okay, the balanced coverage between different sexual orientation, then of course only one entire episode for homosexual people is not enough, right? If you because in nearly all TV programs in Hong Kong, for example, in nearly all programs in Hong Kong, hetero there are enormous amount of heterosexual couples. Okay, love stories are over 99.999% is about heterosexual couples. Okay, all TV programs, if there are romantic love at all, the relationship is over 99.999% is about heterosexual love. Okay, in really all TV programs, the default position for a romantic relationship is heterosexual. So if you want quote unquote balance, then you need to think much more for homosexual romantic romantic relationship. So you know the idea, okay? In a lot of in most of the programs, the default setting is heterosexual love. Okay. And it's not only about the default position. It's about that it's also a taboo to depict homosexual couple or love in programs. Okay. And that taboo exists even nowadays, I think, in Hong Kong. Okay. You don't want to really depict homosexual couples or homosexual love in programs. Okay. So the reply is like, if you want balanced coverage, then you need to frame much more for homosexual love relationship, and also actually other LGBT people. Okay. So so the point is, these kind of campaigns illustrate the, so to speak, heterosexual hegemony even more, because they think even one single episode for homosexual people is too much. Okay, whenever there is a homosexual couple here, you got to insert another heterosexual couple here in that episode. But it's not the case for heterosexual couple, of course. Okay, you see one a pair of heterosexual couple, You don't need to insert or add one a pair of homosexual couple into the movie or into the programs. So that illustrates even more what heterosexual hegemony means in our society, okay, and how it occurs and how it operates. Okay. Uh, so so the point is, if it is really the case, then it try to the same. The cultural industry and creative industry are just doing uh, uh, some products that reinforce the original value of our society. Okay, and that those kind of campaigns from the conservative camp is even more explicit act that consolidate the old worldview. Okay, we don't want you to have your voice represented on mass media. Okay, you guys can be here, but you should just be here. You don't need to come out and shout to the society that you are here. Okay? You don't need to express your opinion, and I don't want you to give your opinion. Okay, they are regarded as some kind of weird and strange case, some kind of maybe pathetic case sometimes, okay, in our society. And that's why we still love you. They always say we love gay people, we love homosexual people. Okay? But that kind of love is not does not mean they would like to give you a chance to express yourself because they love you, uh, but still think you as some kind of abnormality or some kind of strange thing and pathetic things in our society. Okay, so if we love you, we will try. We don't, but we might want to correct you or change you or convince you to change your sexual orientation. Okay? Of course, there's a huge claim that it can be changed, and most medical evidence shows that it couldn't be changed. But anyway, they they think, okay, they are doing something to love you, but that kind of love implies you don't have the chance to express yourself, to represent yourself completely in the culture, in our cultural industry. Okay. But the same, I think the same is here. The problem of heterosexual hegemony is that it gives a suggestion to what is normal, okay, in a society. Okay, it suggests that only heterosexual love or heterosexual romantic relation is normal. Okay, that kind of message is here. Okay, only heterosexual romantic relations is normal. Okay, and the voice of other sexual minorities should not be heard in a sense. Okay, in mass media. That's the problem. Okay, that's the problem. That the heterosexual hegemony represented in our mass culture, in our cultural industry and mass media, is that it gives us that kind of implicit message to the audience. Okay, only heterosexual. You can imagine if you are a child, and if you watch television every day, and all the TV programs suggest to you that okay, only heterosexual romantic relations is normal. Then it becomes part of your worldview, part of your worldview. Okay, and it's you can't help but thinking like that. Okay, and the voice of other sexual minorities should not be heard in mass media. There's something we can allow them to exist, but they should just exist in their own circle. Don't come out, okay? Don't come out to the wider society. And that so if so you can imagine if you grew up under that kind of hegemony in our mass media, what will you what would you feel if you see a gay couple, for example, a pair of gay couple kissing in open areas, in public areas? What would you feel when you see a pair of gay? What do you feel? Right? What will you feel when you see a pair of gay couple kissing in public, for example? Okay. It's quite normal, at least in Hong Kong, to see a pair of heterosexual couple, okay, one man, one woman, to kiss or have some or to cuddle, a small cuddle on or a small hug at least on in public, right? That's I think that's quite normal in Hong Kong. Okay, as long as you don't do it to a very exaggerated extent. Okay, if you do it within the range, I think it's quite common and quite acceptable. Okay, but what would you feel if this kind of action is done not by a pair of heterosexual couples, but a pair of gay couple, let's say two men kissing in public, for example, in MTR, in a bus, okay, in a public park, or maybe in a restaurant after they finish their meal, they just kiss each other and go. What will you feel if you see something like that, okay, happening in public? Someone say you feel very dead, you feel very good, right? Okay, but maybe, and I hope it is true. Uh, for for me, I have to confess to my confession. I felt disgusted when I see two men kissing in the past. Okay? I have to confess, I felt disgusted when I saw two men kissing in the past. Okay, someone PM me and say it is not acceptable for you to for any kind of couple, not only gay couple or lesbian couple, but any kind of couple. You know, couples shouldn't doing that in public, right? In public, or maybe for example, or in let's say in a TV series. How about that? How about in a TV series? Oh, you feel disgusted 我算錯咗，係喎 ，yes, thank you for 認字特警。Okay, what will you feel when you see a pair of gay couple kissing in a TV series, for example? It's not in it's not in the public, right? And seeing couples kissing in a TV series is quite common when the couple is heterosexual, right? Not normal, right? Someone PM me and say it is not normal if you see such scene in a TV series, right? And I have to confess, I feel the same in the past. Okay, I felt disgusted when I saw two men kissing in the past. I just had the feeling of that. Okay, and and later on, I have to think. Okay, of course, it has to be discussed whether homosexuality is ethically unproblematic. I think it's obviously unproblematic. Okay, but But let's assume it is unproblematic from a moral point of view. Okay? I think it's completely normal, completely morally acceptable. But anyway, I know some of the people in the society may think homosexuality is in itself a moral act, a moral crime. Okay, but I don't think so. And but I'm not going into that kind of discussion. Okay, just let us assume for the sake of our discussion. Okay, it is unproblematic. Okay, it's okay, it's acceptable. But even though it is acceptable, I somehow still feel disgusted. Okay, I somehow felt disgusted when I saw two men kissing. Okay, in the past. And if it is so, I have to ask, where did this kind of disgusting feeling come from? Okay, why did I have such kind of feeling? Later on, I was better. Okay, now I'm completely normal, and if I see them doing that in the public, I will feel very excited. Okay, because I appreciate their courage, and I hope they can change the society a little bit by doing that in the public. Okay, by being visible for other people. Later on, I will talk about visibility a little bit more. But the same problem is here. Okay, so where did this kind of feeling come from? Even though later on, from my rational point of view, okay, if I think hard, okay, I think homosexuality is unproblematic. Okay, there's no problem for homosexual couples. But I had been feeling that kind of disgusting feeling for still some times. But why? And maybe I would say, where if we ask where did this kind of come from? My my I think my hypothesis is like shade by mass. Okay, it implies to you okay, it implies to you that homosexual is not normal in a sense. That kind of implicit message is everywhere. Is everywhere in a TV series, okay, or in mass culture. No, sorry, in mass media. Okay. It implies to you that homosexual couple is not normal in a sense. So if you watch a movie, if you follow a TV series, okay, in the past at least, most of the couple, not most, but all, okay, all of the couples must be heterosexual. It must be heterosexual. Okay, and if all of the couples or all of the romance relation in the series are heterosexual in nature, then homosexual love is unfound. Okay, it's not found. Okay, 404 not found. Okay, in our mass media, like in TV series or in movie, for example. Okay, it implies to you that homosexual couple is not normal. And if sometime a movie or a TV series is made to talk about homosexual love. Okay, sometimes there are movies or TV series uh, which are made to talk about homosexual love. Okay, so just like Brokeback Mountain or that kind of stuff. Okay. And the general impression for this kind of movie is that they gay movie, for example. They're 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 shot with the specific purpose to talk about, for example, gay couples or gay love. Okay, so I mean the way that TV station and filmmakers to deal with this kind of homosexual problem, homosexual love relations, is to make it a very is to treat it as a special case, okay, and abnormal case. Whenever you want to talk about that, the audience have the feeling that I'm seeing something abnormal, but we have to still listen to the voice of this kind of, so to speak, abnormal people. Okay, so the movie is specifically grouped or classified as a different kind of movie, namely gay movie. So in a normal movie, you won't see any gay couple. Okay? When you see a gay couple, it must already be a gay movie. That kind of that kind of movie, that kind of gay movie, quote unquote, is good in the uh, in the motivation. Okay, they want to do more justice and they want to reveal the lives of those gay people, okay, of gay people. But at the same time, sometimes the treatment will let the audience have the feeling that they are abnormal and they are not part of the norm of the society. Okay. So so the problem is always like is it a good move if we want to make more people recognize the hardship faced by gay couples or homosexual couples or other sexual minorities. Okay, so so I think, okay, my feeling of feeling disgusted is shaped actually by the mass media. Okay, because of all of this. Okay, I was already appalled of our mass media, and I have no choice in some sense when I get that kind of feeling. But of course, I would like to show you that after some time, when you feel when for example when you think that homosexuality is unproblematic, then your feeling can be changed. Okay, you have to confess as well that that kind of feeling, or although it is very fundamental and original, okay, but it's not unchangeable. It can be changed. Okay, for me is after I have thought through the problem of homosexuality and thought that and held the opinion that homosexuality is unproblematic. And later on, I I feel much better when I see two men kissing. Okay, but you can still see my cultural wound. Okay, cultural wound, and and that's why they want to become much more visible. Okay, they want to become much more visible. Okay, at least more represented in mass media. Okay, the influence or the importance of being seen, visibility. Okay, so the so that so we came to the topic on the importance of being seen. Okay, it is important. Someone will say, I have heard of such kind of comment for a few times. Okay, okay, I respect the right of the LGBT, the sexual minorities community. I respect their rights, but and I love them, but I just don't understand why they have to be so high profile. And when they organize parade, they have to wear that kind of dress or clothes that that's very extra very like over the top. Okay, very over the top. Why are they doing this? The same idea is here. Being seen. Okay, you have to be visible. If you so in the phenomenon I pointed out just just now is a phenomenon of not being seen. Actually, you can't find you can't find the sexual minorities people in our mass media, okay, in our cultural industry, and that make the homosexual or sexual minorities invisible, okay, invisible. You can't see them, can't see them. But it's important to be able to be seen, okay, because if we can't see, let's say, sexual minorities people in our society, in mass media, then it shaped my worldview. What is normal, what is not. Okay, if I can't see any sexual minority people on a cultural industry, then I will like question and I will have the worldview thinking that okay, they are just not normal. Okay? They are just abnormal. But the importance of being seen come in here. If we see those couple, like let's say a gay couple, just live simple life in TV series. Maybe they are not the main characters, but they're in the background story, for example. Okay, if they if we can see, for example, gay couples in our cultural industry, then they are visible, and so we it is much more easy. It's much easier to think they are normal, and if it is so, we won't have that kind of feeling of being disgusted. Okay, the disgusting feeling goes away later on. If we have seen enough gay couple wearing those clothes in parade, or if I have seen enough gay people kissing each other, then later on my value has been reshaped, okay, and think it is not a problem at all, and I don't even feel that kind of disgusted feeling anymore. So being seen is important. Being seen is important. How could we break through into into for example the cultural industry, creative industry? Okay, so I finished the discussion of heterosexual hegemony here. So let me talk about the way to break through after the break. Okay, let's take a break for 10 minutes. Let's take a break first, and then we will talk about the last part of our discussion. Okay, let's get back to the lecture. Okay, so af yes. So after we have talked about different kind of oppression, okay, towards different communities or different people, okay. So what could we do? Okay, how to break through? If you want to break through, and if you don't want to be stuck, okay, in such kind of structural problem, what could we do? Um, I name some example, okay, and discuss. I don't know whether it's the way to go. I think some of it is better, and some of it is not as best as other examples. But let's discuss. Okay. Um, the first case I have mentioned is the example of Elsa. Okay, when compared to other Disney princess. Okay, when we compare to other Disney princesses, okay, Elsa is quite special. Okay, as I have mentioned, because she she is like a breakthrough that doesn't follow the norm of the traditional role played by princess, right? Traditionally speaking, as I have discussed, princess in a Disney movie should be someone who is beautiful, but cannot help herself. Okay, she has to wait for the help of a prince, okay, or a brave man, a warrior, that kind of stuff. So that gives you the impression that okay, the ideal life for a woman is to have a man who can protect her and who can lead her, who can and who loves her because she's beautiful. Okay? But the example of Elsa is I think to show that there could be room to create a character who is also a princess, but at the same time who is not just beautiful but also can help herself, can make decisions by herself, and can go into adventure without the help of a man. Okay, that kind of character is like uh presupposed in quite some in a lot of different new uh, 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 product or cultural industry like movies and TV series. Okay, but Elsa I think is one of the most successful case. Okay, and I hope this kind of new. So we are actually doing something like making new text. Okay, making new text that do not have the problem of the old text. Okay, they got some new perspective for, to see things. Okay, so making this kind of new text, like for example Elsa, okay, would be great because it won't. We don't need to be stuck in 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 in, in some old kind of classics that actually presuppose some worldview that might suggest you something very stereotypical or even something very oppressive. And another example is Marvel superhero movies in the new era. Okay, so for example, the Eternals um, um, is a very special example. Like we got we got like 10 heroes, which are called the Eternals. Okay, they they are in different. They have different skin color. They have some one of them is gay. One of them is like death. Wait, no, not death. Okay, one cannot talk. Okay, they is disabled in a sense. Okay, um, they they just form a spectrum. They spectrum. They have They're people of East Asian origin, people of South Asian origin, people of different skin colors, blah 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 blah. Okay. So Eternals. Um, but a lot of so let me say, okay, the motivation is very good. Okay, the motivation is good, I think. Okay, because just like Elsa, he wants they want to tell you that being a superhero doesn't mean you have to be white and male. Okay, you can be a black guy, you can be a disabled person, but in a sense, it doesn't stop you from being a superhero. You can still help others. You can still help yourself. You can still be very able and very strong. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, so the Eternal is a special case because there are 10 different superheroes in the Eternals, and that's why um it shows the spectrum very clearly. Okay, and so that's why it's a good example to for discussion. Okay, they have different people from different origin, showing different kind of characteristics. Okay, so using the same concept visibility. Okay, when we see a, a princess a princess like Elsa can help ourselves to solve the problem. When we have like a different skin color, people of different skin color to be superhero, then this kind of, so to speak, an abnormal thing then suddenly become visible. And when we can see them long enough, they become part of our norm. They become normal. So we are trying to normalizing the difference between people in a sense, just like heterosexual romantic love that I have discussed in the first half of this lecture. Okay. So the implicit message is like, okay, you can be your hero. You it's not just because you are black or you are Asian, then you cannot help others. Then you are not able to save the world. No. Okay. It gives you a dream in a sense. It gives you an ideal. Okay. No matter who you are, no matter what ethnicity you are in, you can still, okay, be a superhero. Let's say, for example. So the complete idea is quite good. Okay, if the text if the old text is not good, then we try to make new text, okay, that don't share that problem, okay, and reshape the norm of the society. But of course, there is some counter argument, some criticism towards this kind of treatment to those texts. Okay, um, they think some of the critics and a lot of the critics actually from the right, okay, in the spectrum, think that this kind of company, this kind of cultural industry, cultural product is made solely because of political correctness. Okay, Disney, Disney, and also Netflix are two of the companies who are blamed for being politically too correct. Okay, and making their films and series unattractive. Okay. So the implicit understanding is that, or the implicit charge that is made by those critics is that those companies first make that kind of movies is purely out of political correctness. Okay? It's not because they think it is valuable. Not this is not because they think they should do it, but some some charge them and say they do it only because it is politically correct. It's not because something else. It's just because they are politically correct, and then they won't be criticized by other people. Of course, I always have to ask: is it a problem if the company really are doing that kind of stuff, having that kind of policy, just purely out of political correctness. Okay, they don't really appreciate the value, but because it is politically correct, so they do it. Is it a problem if it is the case? Is it a problem if it is the case? Huh? For me, maybe it's a problem in a sense because they are not doing that from the heart. Okay, of course, it is always a problem if they do it from the heart. But first, I think a lot of them do it really from the heart. And second, I would like to ask, like to think, even if they're doing something just because it is politically correct, then, but I don't think it's a problem at all because the 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 the, the way to change the society is to make some new tax to to rebut the old stereotypes assumed by the old tax. Okay, so even though they do it not out of their heart, but the text has been made, the theme, the movie, the songs, that kind of stuff are already there. If they make it purely out of the reason of political correctness, okay, and that kind of text can still change the presupposition of the audience, okay, and try to let them see the world from another perspective, okay. Then the work itself, the artwork itself, or the cultural product itself has already done its job. Okay, just like a natural PME and say, it's still educational. It is still inspirational, no matter what primary motivation of the company is. Okay, the work, the product itself as already educational because it can change and at the real view or let people see things from another real view. That's already good enough. Okay. Then what might be the problem? Okay. Sorry, okay. Elon Musk make the same make similar challenge or an opinion on Netflix. Okay. On Netflix. Okay. So but are they going too far? Like for example, to add, for example, bad character in with the okay, Viking TV series. Okay, but the problem is sometimes it seems they're just going too far. They, for example, they will add black characters, okay, characters with black skin in a TV series talking about, for example, Viking, okay, the North European, okay, in the past, okay, or medieval movie, okay. So but in that time, there are not so many black people in Europe. Okay, there were some black people in Europe, but not that many. Okay, especially for example Viking. Okay, in the North Europe, in Scandinavia. Okay, it could be safely assumed that there wouldn't be a lot of black people there. But in order to balance the skin color of the characters, Netflix have added black characters in the Viking TV series, in a Viking programs. Does it make sense? Historically speaking, no. Uh, so, but accuracy. they may have the problem of historical accuracy. Okay, it's not the case that there were some black people in the Viking tribes. No. So is it going too far? Okay, it's going too far. Okay. So what might be the problem? Okay, what might be the problem? We have to discuss. Is it acceptable? For those who want to defend ethics and want to defend this kind of practice, they think that historical accuracy is not the only factor that we have to consider. Okay? We have to consider, for example, the cultural influence of that kind of cultural product, that kind of TV series. So if all the crew, all the characters are white, okay, even though because they're doing this just because it is a Viking program, talk about Viking people, but some will still argue that okay, that kind of movie will still give the audience a bad in suggest to them that only white people can be the main characters, okay, on a TV series. Um, I don't think it's a good argument actually. Okay, I don't think it's a good one. But at least I want to show you how to reply to that. How to reply to that. Okay, to just think historical accuracy is not the only factor we have to consider. We have to consider the cultural, social impact as well. And if we don't, we have if all we have all the main characters, okay, if we cast all the main characters with white people, then they think the same thing happens. Okay, so some stereotype of white people and black people, and white people are the main characters, and black people doesn't exist, or maybe they're just like in the background. Okay, so some would try to add back characters in for example, a Viking TV series. But yeah, it's always difficult to balance the different value. Okay, so you have to think about that. What's your position? Some will also say if we don't let this kind of okay program to exist in TV in the television, for example, it limits our freedom of speech. We should have our freedom of speech to make a TV series that is completely using white people as a cast. Okay, do we have that kind of freedom? Do we have that kind of freedom? And we and another problem is the reinterpretation of the classics. Okay, so they try to reinterpret the classics. For example, Superman, and I'll get a black version of Superman. Or later on, we might have a Snow White, a Snow White that is dark in skin. Maybe I don't know, but that kind of interpretation of the classics, okay, someone say it's very problematic. Okay, because the classics is important for a lot of people as their cultural background, as the, the cultural heritage. Okay, so if you change that, okay, then it's just like it's just like having killed the the, the old classics, because Snow White for most of us is a bad is a white woman, it's a white girl. Okay, so if you try to remake the story with us another princess who is dark in skin, maybe, then in a sense you are like taking away the classics for me, at least. Okay, for uh for a lot of people, okay, that is not Snow White if Snow White is bad in color. But is it? Of course, it's like you feel bad when your when the characters that you love in when you were a child, let's say, uh, have been in a sense reinterpreted, okay? And they give you a totally different character. But so again the same, okay? Some good value, but also some bad things happen as well here. So how could we balance? And of course, another problem is the canceling culture. Okay, so they try to cancel your voice if you don't follow suit to say something that is politically correct. Okay, there's so-called canceling culture. Okay, some people or some company will lose their supporters just because supporters, in a sense, uh, 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 don't think they're doing good because they are not politically correct. Okay, they want to cancel their noise in a sense. So this is so to speak the canceling culture. Right? Call you out, name dropping, okay, and say I stop supporting you. Okay, that's canceling. Is it is it problematic or not? So there is a huge debate here, and I predict in and nowadays the industry within the industry, okay, doing something, okay, so to speak politically correct is still the trend in the long there. But among the audience, things has changed, I guess. Okay, a lot of audience think it is too over, too over the top. Okay, we shouldn't do things like that. So who's right, who's wrong? I don't know. I I let you judge it yourselves. So I finished talking about lecture line and actually our last substantial lecture. So let's have a conclusion of our course. Let's have a conclusion of our course. So let's conclude what we have gone through in our course. The basic idea, the basic question is, what is creative thinking? Okay, what is creative thinking? Okay, and I distinguish between two kind of creative thinking. The first one is creativity within an old framework of meaning, and the second one is creativity that creates a new framework of meaning. Okay, and the first one I think is conservative and in a sense, uh, consolidating the old oppressive framework if the framework is oppressive itself. Okay, and creativity can help us to see things from completely new framework. Okay, creating a new framework of meaning. And then we move on to talk about why is creativity important, and especially in the second sense. Okay, because we human are the product of history. Okay, so we have discussed Heidegger, who states that the meaning of things determined by the worldview that is passed to us through history. So there is certain kind of worldview that it is passed on generation to generation, and that worldview will limit how we see things. Okay, our own framework of meaning. And Foucault says something similar too. He thinks first, the meaning of things is determined by some accidental historical causes. So we don't need to like uh, uh, think that it is something essential, universal, and absolute. Okay, actually, a lot of things, a lot of concepts that we are having is just determined by some accidental historical causes. Okay, that and accidental, they're not must. Okay, and that kind of historical influence, okay, come to us through some micro power. Micro power means the power exercise itself through day-to-day interaction, some very micro stuff. Okay, ordinary life. Okay, it's not something very grand. Okay, and that's why creativity is important because we can creativity can help us to escape from this kind of framework. Okay. And there is a lot of implicit messages in text. So we have discussed the starting point is Golan Bats. Okay, meaning of text is created by some very supposed signifier and signifying system. Okay. Okay, and so we have to understand how the meaning of a text is created in order to stop being influenced by the text, maybe. Okay, and later on we have a debate on cultural industry because a debate between Benjamin and Adorno to talk about whether cultural industry is a way out to help us to escape from some old worldview, some old framework of meaning that is oppressive and not good in nature. Okay? And how could the government help? This is about our cultural policy. And last but not least, we have to ask, other than waiting for the help of the others, what we could do by ourselves. So I finished our semester by talking about textual analysis. Okay, I want you guys to have some certain sensitivity to a text. Okay, because there are lots of implicit meaning suggested by Barthes. Okay, just like Golan Barthes say, a lot of implicit meaning in the text. So if we don't do textual analysis, if we don't have the sensitivity towards text, then we will like buy in all the what did I say, and we will say yes. We will shaped by the text in our subconscious level, okay, in an unconscious level. So we don't have power to defend against that. So the first thing I want you to have is the ability of textual analysis and the sensitivity to a text. You won't you will make a distance between you and the text. Okay, you get a room, you get some space to reflect upon the meaning of text and even become critical towards the text. Okay, and so you don't buy in all the messages, okay, implicit in the text. Okay, and at the end, we can even when you got chance and power and resource, you may even want to try to make new text that that can that don't they won't commit to the problem of some older text. So here's a great go through, okay, summary of what we have learned in our semester. Yeah, hand claps. Okay. So here I conclude all my lecturing, and let me introduce you to the how we work for our examination. Okay. So exam. Okay. So let me share another. No, wait. So let me talk about exam. A quick one. A quick one. So so in our examination, so in our examination, for our examination, the deadline is May 16. May 16. And I will probably upload the exam paper to you guys after it is after the department say yes to my question paper. Okay, I have submitted my question paper to the department, and after the department say yes, I think it's in a few days. Okay, a few days time. Okay, then I will upload a question paper onto Moodle. Okay, and the deadline of our examination is May 16. Okay, the 16th of May. Okay, uh, 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 you can submit it before midnight. Okay, before midnight. The deadline is to midnight. Okay, so as long as you submit the question paper on May 16th, then it's okay. It's on time. Okay, 5月16号，5月16号。Okay, 16 May is the deadline of our of our take-home examination. Okay, you can submit it before midnight. Okay, so within the whole day of May 16 is still on time. Okay, okay, May 16 it's not determined by me. It's determined by the deadline is determined by the department. Okay, so okay, so and then I have to say, let me show you. I got what is the format of the exam. It's very easy. Okay, you have to answer two questions. You have to answer two questions. The first one is compulsory, and the second one is optional. Okay, so in the second part, I got, for example, as far as I remember, it's like 5 to 6 questions for you to five. I guess that is something. It's five. I got 5 questions that you can within which you can choose one to answer. Okay, I got 5 questions. Okay, you can pick one to answer in part two. But in part one, it's a compulsory question. I have incorporated originally the course has another separate assignment that is a textual analysis. Okay, I need you to analyze a text, but I have incorporated that part into our exam. Okay, so you submit your textual analysis together with the exam. It's part of the exam, and here is the questions. Okay, and here is the questions. Let me share with you. Share screen, yeah. So here is the question that you will see in your question paper. It's the compulsory one. Okay, it's the compulsory question. Please pick a text from the creative and cultural industry. For example, it could be a film, a book, a song, a TV program, a comic, and artwork, etc., etc., and apply the concepts and theoretical tools introduced in our course to analyze the text. So you need to do a textual analysis. Okay, just find a book, a film, a song, a TV program, whatsoever. The analyze should focus on in what sense the text is creative. Okay, why the text is creative, and how the text might have created a new framework of understanding the world, or just consolidating the old one. Okay, so I want you to analyze the text, particularly from the perspective of creativity, whether the text have created a new framework of understanding, okay, a new worldview, okay, or it just consolidated the old worldview. Okay, I want to analyze. Okay, so just find a text that you think is suitable for you, and then you can start finding that kind of text after today's lecture. Okay, okay. This question must be in the question paper. Okay, it's the compulsory one. Okay, and it is originally a separate assignment, but I incorporate that into our final exam. Okay, please pick a text to do that. Okay, any question about this question? Any question about that? You guys understand what you guys? Yeah. 講啦，that's it。
嚴 Sir，我想問下咁我哋呢個 exam 係好似 assignment 咁樣，定係assignment 咁
？Just like an assignment, I will give you the technical exam, and I don't. You can have like 2 weeks to finish it. Just submit it before May 16, on or before May 16, and I won't have any surveillance monitoring system. Okay, you just like an assignment. Okay, so it's a take-home exam. You understand? Yeah. Just apply all those stuff I have taught you, and do a textual analysis. Okay. Understand? So this one you can write maybe 1,000 to 2,000 words. Okay, 1,000 to 2,000 words for this question. And then for the compulsory one, you just need to apply what I have taught in the course and answer my question, and you can give like 500 to 1,000 words. You understand? Okay. So this one 1,000 to 2,000 words. And the second compulsory, the second optional question, you just answer one of them, and it's like 500 to 1,000 words. Okay. Or 1,000 to 1,000. This one will be 1,000 to 1,500. Okay, not be too long. Don't be too long. Okay. So it's just like an assignment in a sense. Yes. Okay. But it's exam replacement assignment. If you think like that, okay, you could say so. Okay. It's just like an assignment. I give you the questions, and you answer it and upload onto Moodle. That's it. Okay. Any question? So so we are submitting this on May 15th of May, 16th of May, and we will having our presentation on the 14th of May, okay, in the morning, right? And so you guys go project, okay? So two things to do in our course, okay? On the 16th of May in the morning, okay, we have a good presentation starting from 9:30, and then the 16th of May is the deadline, okay, for the for our examination, okay. So it will be easy, I think. It will be easy, and you guys can always refer to my to my to my to my lecture recording. Okay? And last but not least, when you do your take-home examination, you don't need to have very detailed citation. Of course, you have to cite it, cite things that you have used if there is any. But because it is an exam and not a paper, strictly speaking, so you don't need to like write very detailed citation. Okay, but you still need to cite it. Okay, and you need to submit to turn it in before you upload it onto Moodle. I will have a link on Moodle for you guys to upload the exercise, your answer. Okay, and don't be late. Don't be late. It's like an exam. Okay, late being late is not acceptable. Okay, okay, okay. Good. So any other questions? Any other questions? The presentation is on 14th of May, 9:30 in the morning. Okay, 9:30 in the morning. Yeah. No, the second part of the exam will be shown low. As long as I got the approval from the department, I give you like 2 weeks or to finish the whole exam, not just the first part. The second part I will give you as well, as soon as I got the approval from the department. Okay, I have just sent out the question paper to them, and they need to approve that it is okay. It's not problematic. It's not problematic, and then I will upload it to you. I guess I will upload it to you in the early of May, and I will make an announcement to you. Okay? But the second part will be easy. It's just like you answer the question using what I have taught in the lecture. But I got to show you the first part first in the last lecture because I want you to start doing it. Okay, to start doing it. Looking for a text that you think is worth analyzing. Okay, good. So any other questions? Anything else? So if no, then it concludes all our lectures, and it concludes our semesters. Thanks a lot for attending the course and insist to attend my lectures until the last second. And I enjoy. It is the first time that I teach this course, and I enjoy it very much. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well. Maybe I know that sometimes maybe it's boring, maybe it's sleepy, maybe especially in the morning. But I hope at least you enjoy it to a certain extent, and at least I hope you got something new to learn. Okay, some new perspective to see at creativity, creative thinking, and creative industry. Okay, I hope you got some new perspective, and if it is so, uh, I'm more than happy. Yeah, and I always say is 缘分 in Cantonese is some kind of lucky coincidence that we will meet in any course in the university. You can there are lots of different CLA courses, and but you take mine instead of another. So it's our lucky coincidence, and I always feel happy to have met you. And if there are chances that we met again in the campus in Ningnan, in LU, in Ningnan, um, let's meet, okay? Let's say hi to me or let's grab a coffee. Or if you need my help, just message me, email me, message me. I'll come and help. As far although I'm trying my best, okay, to reply message, although it is my weakness. But anyway, yeah, thanks for for going with me the entire course. Okay. Okay, so work hard on your group project and also your final exam. Okay, and good luck for all the best for all other courses in the semester. So let's meet again on the 14th of May. Okay, and at that time I will see your presentation. Okay, so see you guys, and thank you for attending the last lecture. Bye bye.